Let me see. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Keanu Buck Cook, known to the Vice Lord world as Lord Buck. 5 Day started in prison 18 years ago. I'm gonna say really before 18 years ago. Uh, I read somewhere in the paperwork it said that Pepperlo now when they formed Vice Lord in Illinois in the boys' home, and they said that they got out. The training school made a fifth, whatever year it was, and they went back to the community and started Vice Lord, made a fifth. So during that time when I read it, whether or not it was true or not, it was something I believed, and I always held on to that date. So maybe like 18 years ago, I said, say, man, we're gonna start celebrating this day in the prison. Well, we'll get together and we're gonna start eating, such, then we're gonna open and close the demonstration. It's gonna be a day of fellowship. So then I end up one of my homeboys, Kiki, that started our neighborhood, all us vice lords from him. He the one started our neighborhood. He was at the unit with me. And I was like, say, bro, when you get out, man, you need to go out there and start us a day in Little Rock for the nation. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna do that. So when he got out, I always stayed on it. Say, bro, do this, do this, do this. He always told me he was gonna do it, but he never did it. So finally, it got to the point where my little brother, TP, Torian Porter, he was like, damn, bro, I'm tired of hearing you talk about it, what I need to do. So I end up telling him about what 5 Day was, which it started as our hood day. And then it started at Kiki house on Lamar where his mama stayed at. And then it got too big for her. So they end up moving it to our neighborhood on our block where we learned about Vice Lord at. Eventually, it got too big for that, and we had to end up moving it to the park. So it became a demonstration where all the Vice Lords in Little Rock from every Vice Lord hood started coming out. Then, let me see, like 2015, I left and went to the feds. They came and got me to and took me to the feds because the dude stole my identity. So as I was going to all these different states, going throughout the federal transit system, man, I was meeting vice lords from all over the world, and I was giving them my brother information because in the Fed, once you going on the plane, you can't have paper, pen, none of that. So I was giving the people that had their court work my brother number, and they was writing it on their paper. So whenever they went back to the unit that they was at, they was putting their family members, vice lords in other states and town in tune with my brother. So they was calling my brother from all these different states. And other brothers throughout Arkansas started getting involved. Man, West Memphis, Marion, Jonesboro, Wynn, Ford City, Mariana. And man, it got so big where we made the world news because some brothers got pulled over with guns and they had on shirts that said Vice Lord, and the police wanted to know where they were going, and they said they were going to this Vice Lord function. So they went and checked it out. They brought their drones out there, they brought their helicopter, and they seen all these Vice Lords. Like we had like 500, 600 Vice Lords. They came from all over the world. So that's where the idea of 5 Day came from. It's a commemoration of Vice Lord and the evolution and where we at today. We was created in 1957. Here we are all these years later in 2025. We still alive and well. And these people that started it, 16th and Lawndale, King AJ and them started Cicero Insane on Cicero Avenue. They never figured that they would have Cicero Insanes way in Little Rock, Arkansas, or that they would have conservative vice lord way in Little Rock, Arkansas, or that they would have vice lords in Arkansas, period. Because I'm pretty sure their vision didn't span beyond their city block. So to us, me and my brother always talked about like right now. You don't see too many vice lords in the penitentiary from Little Rock because Little Rock vice lords not recruited. We grew up gang banging where dudes got jumped in. So they don't know nothing about blessing dudes in. Only thing they know was gang banging. So man, we went through the fire. People died, people laboring in prison, people almost didn't survive, and they never brought their kids up in that. So this wasn't their legacy to pass down to their kids. So they didn't want their kids to live the same life they lived and go through the same thing that they go through. So they didn't pass vice lord down to their kids. So now when you look in the penitentiary, you don't see vice lords from Little Rock. You just see them in the northeastern part of the state. So me and my brother always talked about, man, if they don't do something, vice lord gonna die out in Little Rock. And I didn't want to see that happen. So that was one reason why we needed to start 5-5 Day, to keep the nation going, to keep people hoping and wishing and believing in something, especially once you learn that vice lords was more than gang bangers, that it was a spirituality to it, that it was a way of life, that it was a new way of doing something that you already love. And we said, hey, man, let's do this 5-5 Day. During this time, we didn't know nothing about no vice lords in Mississippi. We didn't know nothing about no vice lords in Texas. We didn't know nothing about no vice lords in Alabama. We didn't even know about vice lords all over in different parts of Arkansas. We knew West Memphis had vice lords. We knew Ford City had vice lords. We knew Hamburg had vice lords. We didn't know nothing about uh Fayetteville having vice lords, Springdale, Fort Smith, Parkins, Earl, Turl. We didn't know nothing about none of that. So only thing that we focus on here in Arkansas with our 5-5 Day is to keep the nation alive and well in our state. Give the people something to come out and look forward to. And like right now, we instituted something throughout the whole world because truth be told, May the 5th, what I read ain't even the truth, but I believed it. And May the 5th has no bearing on Vice Lord whatsoever. 5-5 has nothing, no bearing on Vice Lord whatsoever, but we made it that. We instituted a holiday that vice lords the world over are proud of and can be a part of. And it's a day of unity, it's a day of reflection, it's a day of paying homage, and it's a day of reconciliation. Man, it's a day of love. And that's what 5-5 Day is. And it started in Arkansas. It started in Little Rock, Arkansas. It started in the Arkansas Department of Correction in my mind, and I trademarked it here recently. So 5-5 Day will be, forever will be an Arkansas institution. And people got to pay homage to what homage is due. And that's 5-5 Day.